Adam, your last name is Wright, right?
Yeah, correct. Right.
Right. Okay, we're live.
Awesome. We're live. I love saying we're back at it.
We're back at it.
William and
Veronica real estate team.
we're hanging out with our awesome friend here, Adam Wright. He's the general manager of RJ Home Inspections. This company is great. We always recommend these guys. They do great quality work. Before we get into it, we want to answer any questions anybody has, either buyers, sellers, or even real estate agents that are watching right now. We'll let them jump on, hit some comments there. If you have any questions for Adam, feel free. He'll try to answer them while we're going live on here. And we're doing these videos just to get information out there. Obviously, we're all going through this together, right?
Right, and we're trying to put as much information from every single angle that we could possibly can. Today's home inspections, which is obviously something that people are still doing, when they're purchasing a home, which is, that's why we have Adam here, so he can talk to us about how things are going in his business. So let's start with introduce yourself, tell us who you are, what you do, and go at it.
Awesome. Yeah, my name's Adam Wright. For those who don't know me, general manager of RJ Home Inspections, second generation contractor, home inspector. So I've been in the business for a little while. But yeah, like you said, it's important for people to know that inspections are still happening. You are still, allowed to get them. We are considered essential. So anyone trying to buy a home, it's risky getting a home without a home inspection. So just know that we can still do it, and we can do it safely. So that's the important things to know right now.
Awesome. And congrats, by the way. You just had a baby boy during this COVID-19.
Baby boy, right? Mid-quarantine, had the baby.
He's in the rocking chair right now.
Yeah. This is actually the chair where we'll feed him. So yeah.
Welcome.
I have to hide from the kids right now.
He's hiding. What's his name? Kellen?
Kellen. Kellan. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, congrats, my man.
Thank you.
So yeah, thanks for sharing some information about you and the company. We love using you, recommending and using you guys. So thanks for jumping on up here.
Thank you. Always.
So Veronica mentioned, people are still, we're still working with buyers, and we're still having buyers and making offers, and even sellers. We just signed 2 new listings here. So are you guys still receiving requests to do home inspections?
Yes. So, I mean, a couple of things that's probably important for, buyers to know is we just take extra precautions now. So each guy, obviously we'll tell them, if you don't feel well, stay at home. We don't want any risk of spreading, coronavirus or anything like that. Obvious things, stay home when you're sick. If you need to cough into your sleeve, stay away from people on the inspection, respect the social distancing 6-foot rule kind of thing. But on top of that, it's, they wear a new pair of nitrile gloves at the start of every home inspection. They sanitize their equipment between inspections, so they're not taking one thing to the next. And, what we're trying to do is basically do the home inspection, maintain our quality standards, but be as safe as possible with respect to the homeowner, the client, the real estate agent, and the inspector, all at the same time.
Got it. So you guys have a nice little guideline there. So first, obviously, check to see if these people are sick. If they are, stay home, stay away. Even ask the seller, right? If
exactly
anybody in the household that's sick, and then after that, you're taking the precautions with the gloves, and then replacing them on every inspection that makes sense.
Yep, sanitizing all the equipment. And we do have suggestions for buyers and sellers too, just to stay as safe as possible. So like on the buyer's side, what we're telling the buyers is, limit the amount of people at the inspection. Everyone always wants, their parents to come. They want the uncle to come because, they bring the people that they trust to see the house. Unfortunately, in these times, it's not really the case. You really shouldn't be doing that right now. So what we tell people is that, the real estate agent is probably going to be there, right? You guys will be there, the inspector, and then maybe one representative. So if you can minimize the amount of people there, the better, which can be negative to a lot of clients. But the thing to be aware of is, we're more than happy to, video chat with people too. So if they send their one representative, well, they can just, on FaceTime the whole inspection with any other parties that they want to be there in real time. And the other things to be aware of is after the inspection, we're always available by phone. So if anyone, has questions, if some other family member looks at the report and doesn't feel comfortable, we're always available to go over that, by phone, even if they can't be there at the inspection.
And that's great, like, again, taking advantage of technology, right? Like trying to
Exactly.
put everybody in the moment and saying that. So let's say if you do a home inspection and one of the parties cannot be present,
Yep.
can he still reach out to you afterwards and ask you questions and go over the report with you if the other person wasn't there?
Absolutely. Always. We do that all the time. We do some inspections where it'll just, be like the inspector and you guys, and the client won't even be there. And we're always happy to, go through the report, because the report it always looks scary on paper, right? It always looks worse on paper than it is in real life. So if they're not there at the home inspection, it's a benefit to have it explained to them by the inspector, I would think.
Now, is it something that, to your point there, and Veronica's, the FaceTime, the video ability, are you recording these or is it just FaceTime?
We don't record them. So,
Okay.
company policy that we won't let anyone record it, but we welcome everybody attend, virtually in real time as much as possible.
Okay.
Well, that's great. What if a buyer says, I don't want to attend, period?
Oh, then that's fine. If they don't want to attend, we do those too, where they just say, hey, send me the report, because some people are very familiar with the home buying process and some aren't. So if this is their 10th home that they're buying, they kind of understand the process, and some of them will just say, just send me the report. If I have questions, I'll call you. Otherwise, just, let me know. And that's absolutely fine too. I guess it's more for, the first time home buyer who hasn't gone through this process, isn't familiar with the house, and they don't, let's say they don't know where the main water shutoff will be. They don't know where the main electric shutoff would be. Things like that, it's good for them to learn on a home inspection.
Right.
So, attending virtually helps them in something like that.
And that makes sense. And that's why I bring it up, because we have clients that just say, hey, listen, we don't want to be at the home inspection. Give us the report. If we have any questions, we'll reach out directly to the inspector. And if we need to tie you in, we'll do that.
Oh, and yeah, definitely. We're always available after to talk about the report. And even a year later, like, we'll get those phone calls, which we welcome them, and we tell them, we're your homeowner's consultant for the rest of your life once you use us for your home inspection. So if 2 years down the road, you don't know how to change the filter in your furnace, give us a call. We can kind of walk them through simple things like that.
That's
Or
great.
if they're worried about something's, approaching the end of their intended life and they kind of forgot what we said on the home inspection, just give us a call. We can go over that.
That's great. That's great. And we've had a great experience with you guys. The times that we refer to our buyer clients. So we positive. It's been all positive. So thank you.
Basically, call you at any time we have any questions. If we want to hear our horoscope, we'll reach out to you.
Exactly.
If we just want to chat.
Another thing too is that on the seller's side, on the home inspection, it's a good idea for them to just be aware that make it as easy as possible and as safe as possible. So if I was the seller, if I was selling my home, I would, make sure that everything's accessible, because you don't want people touching your personal property right now, right? With the COVID. So, make sure we can get to the furnace, the electric panel, the attic without having to move your stuff. After the inspection too, you may just want to wipe down the obvious areas: doorknobs, light switches, thermostats, faucet handles, mixing valve in the shower. So, after, we're going to be as less invasive as possible to these people, but we do still need to inspect and operate things. So as a homeowner, it's not a bad idea to just kind of, wipe those things down after to protect your family afterwards.
Okay.
Great point.
Good.
That was one of our questions: is
right.
what could a buyer and a seller do to better prepare for the home
I was jumping
inspection?
ahead on you.
No, it's good. So, keep light switches on, electrical panel. Would you recommend them opening it up?
Well, definitely not. No.
Okay.
No one should ever remove that panel. They can open the door if they want, but no one should ever remove that electric panel unless they're a licensed inspector or a licensed electrician. Anyone other than that should not be, removing that cover. It's a huge safety hazard.
Awesome. So leave doors unlocked. Obviously, when the time comes for you guys to go
Right.
in. What else do you recommend for a seller to better prepare? Just
Um,
briefly.
I would say the main thing is access to things. Because I mean, our guys are always willing to move stuff around, right? To get to certain things. But a homeowner right now, they're scared to have people go through their house. So the main thing that they don't want us to do is to be touching all their stuff. So, make sure that we can, get through all the rooms, make sure that, which most, listings are pretty clean as it is, but some people haven't been in their attic for 10 years. So make sure that we can at least get to the access. I mean, we're going to bring our own ladder and that kind of thing, but just make sure that we can get around to these things so we don't have to touch your stuff at all.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
great. Thank you for that, Adam. And let's talk a little bit about the actual home inspection and how long it takes to do a home inspection. I know it's based on the type of property, but in average,
Yep.
how long would you be in the house inspecting the home?
So we always tell people over the phone to budget 3 hours in case there's, a lot of questions, that kind of thing. It generally doesn't take us 3 hours at all. We don't do the report on site. So rather than waste your time like on site watching us fill stuff out, we spend that time interacting and then we write the report after. So for us, we're around 2 hours, something like that is, pretty accurate. If it's a smaller house, hour and a half. If it's a bigger house, multifamily, and there's a lot of questions, then it'll run beyond 2 hours.
Got it. And do you guys also do, we have done like radon tests, like what other services are included besides the home inspection?
Yep, so there's the home inspection. It's always a good idea to get a termite inspection. We actually offer that for free with every home inspection. So if you use us, we do it anyway. But you want to know, history of wood destroying insects, termites. Radon testing, some houses it's more relevant than other condos and things like that, but radon testing is definitely relevant in this area. Water testing, if you're on a well, you're going to want to test that water quality. I know I would want to know what I'm drinking, brushing my teeth with, cooking with if I was using a well. And if you're buying in New Hampshire, well, in Massachusetts there's the Title V inspections, right, that the seller will have to do. But if you're buying in New Hampshire, you probably want to get your septic inspected as well. And we've partnered with the company that would inspect that. So if you call us, that's all one phone call that all those tests and inspections can be arranged.
Yeah, that's
Got
great. Different services, and you include the termite inspection for free. The radon, you touched on that. We have a lot of people that might be thinking about buying a home. Can you share with us what's a radon test for?
So radon gas, naturally occurring gas that comes from the ground, right? Main cause of it is deterioration of like granite and ledger. I could give you the science behind it. Uranium, radium, radon gas is the byproduct, but it basically comes from the ground 24 hours a day. If your house is in a location where a lot of radon gas is emitting from the ground, studies show that it can contribute to lung cancer. So if you're in an area that has high radon, you're at risk for that. So, I mean, certain people, it affects more than others. Obviously, if you're a smoker, you're at a very high risk for lung cancer already. Combine that with radon, you're at a much higher risk. Anyone with like a finished basement should definitely be getting radon testing because it comes up from the ground. That's the first level where it comes in. So if there's any potential for the lower level to be lived in, I would strongly urge them to get a radon test. But as far as across the country, I mean, there's different zones of radon, right? Zone 1 being the highest concentration, 2 being the next, all the way up to 5 is 0. If you're in New England, you're either zone 1 or 2. So anywhere in New England, it is relevant as far as radon. I mean, some areas have none, but overall, it's worth testing for sure.
Awesome. How about any like on lead testing? Do you guys do any of that?
So we contract that out. So as far as like the lead inspection, if somebody does want to do a full lead inspection, we refer to other inspectors to do that.
Okay.
Specific, you need a separate lead license to be able to do that, which we don't carry. So we partner with somebody else to do the lead.
Great.
And we're going to include your contact information or RJ Home Inspections main number. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to the company.
Absolutely, and they can ask for Adam. Also on our website, we added a tab about all the COVID-19 policies and suggestions. So if anyone wants to look at that, that's a buyer or seller, or if you're a buyer or seller and you want, the other party to see those kind of recommendations. Like if you're a seller and you want, your buyer to be following certain things, they can look at our website and see all our recommendations for those kind of things.
That's great. That's great. Thank you so much for all that info.
Well, before we let him go, we got to
We
ask him.
always like to ask one last question.
Our favorite question is, once this is all behind us, where's the first place that Adam's gonna go first?
I think the first place that I'm going to go is I think me and the wife need a date night. We're going to go out to eat. Hopefully have a babysitter for the 2 kids. And
We'll babysit. We take turns. You babysit for
careful,
us.
I may take you up on that.
So you're gonna
Anytime.
take the wife, smart man, to dinner, maybe out somewhere. Whereabouts?
So I live in Dedham currently. We just moved down here recently, so it'll probably be Legacy Place. You familiar with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a few good restaurants in there. They have a good Mexican place. They have a legal in there. So, maybe we'll bounce around, have some margaritas, some seafood. Who knows?
Awesome.
Awesome, my man.
I'll leave that up to the wife.
Thank you.
Smart man. Happy wife, happy life.
Well, thanks for having me, guys. It's been a pleasure.
Jumping on, good man. And we'll paste your information there. All right,
Awesome.
guys. Thanks
Thank
for
you
watching.
Thank you.
Take care, buddy.
Have
Be
a good
safe.
one, guys.
Bye-bye.
See ya.